Namaskar. Namaskar. My name is Himanshuray Raval. I belong to India. And as far as the introduction is concerned, my introduction is very brief that I am interested in everything under the sun for past 65 years. And I have tried to know life from different angles in past 40 years in different ways. Through music, without music, visible, invisible, so many things. Today's topic is TarpaN, which is my favorite and experienced and well tried, very successful tool to resolve so many day to day issues of people around me. There are so many things which are not easily understood. This is one of those. But it's not necessary that we should be able to understand everything. Certain things are there which we'll have to accept for our betterment and with respect. Of course, if there is some expenditure, if there is some exorcism in that, then I would not recommend. But I am suggesting, I am sharing my own experience because I want that the benefit should flow the way it has flown to me. It is a very simple tool. What is TarpaN? I will tell you one in a very small way. That we proffer potable water to the dead friends, dead ancestors, dead pets, and the gods around us, even to the king of the or the ruler of the region that where we stay. To this extent we go. It is a process of being thankful to everyone else. Psychologically, it may cause some changes in our personality, in our outlook also, and it also benefits. But there are certain benefits which are beyond explanation, which will come to that. So, TarpaN is basically offering water by your own hands, by way of a glass, by way of a clean tumbler, or a spoonful of water. If you are traveling in air flight, you can simply imagine that you are offering water to those souls around you. It is a process of proffering water, potable water to the people who are not present, who are absent on this world. Now, whatever I am talking is also written in certain very authentic books. I will simply read it. You might not have access to those books in USA. But those books are Vyasa Samhita, Gherand Samhita, Shiv Puran, Garud Puran, Yajurved, Vyasa Samhita, and Saankhya. I'll be talking about TarpaN and Saankhya first. Saankhya is one of the 6 theist philosophies of India, which dates back at least 20,000 years before Christ. How that Dr. Nilesh Oak in USA has already proven it, that it is certainly beyond 700 BC as very often claimed by many historians. We will not go into the history aspects of it. But Sankhya is very interesting to understand for the people who are interested in understanding the world beyond vision. Sankhya says that God is not necessary. There existed matter, as Aristotle has said, that matter. Sankhya says Prakriti. Prakriti means the matter that existed before somebody has identified it, which already existed, matter. And we call it in, we can call it atoms also. But Sankhya says that atoms, the matter, has 3 basic types: good, not so good, and neutral. Sattva, Raj, and Tamas. These are the terms that we use. In English, we can call it good, not so good, and neutral. Because of these three types, there was one equilibrium when nothing existed. These atoms existed in a particular proportion. And nobody knows. Maybe God knows. But God cannot be proved. That's why Saankhya says that we don't claim that there is a God, but there could have been very well a God who caused life and atoms into who brought them into a play. How? There is no direct contact. It is an indirect contact, just like a remote control being used to put on a TV or a fridge or an air conditioner. It is an indirect contact that brought these two invisible factors into play, which caused the entire visible world. The visible world, according to Saankhya, has 5 elements: ether, gas, fiery elements, watery elements, and solid elements. These are the 5 categories into which the matter has been physically analyzed. Ether is also called as a matter because every matter has to have one quality, at least one quality. What is the quality of ether? As we all know that it is made of particles. Now we say that the light is nothing but particle. Sounds are also particle. Everything is particle. But particle makes a way for communication. So some communication is taking place. So communication is being allowed. Some traffic is being allowed. That space is called ether. It is inside our body also. It is outside our body also. How does my message of my pain in leg comes to this place? There is some tunnel, some channel, some vacuum to allow that traffic. Is the etheric element in my body? We'll come to that point. In the same way, gaseous elements, when we are able to feel it on our skin, then only we say that there is some traffic, there is some particle movement, gaseous, some solidified particles, they move here and there. When they move still faster, they cause fire, which becomes visible to eye. That's how the sensory organs have come into being, have been gifted by the invisible God or by the nature. We call it cosmic dance. Cosmic dance is nothing but mating of the atoms and the cosmic intelligence. Purush and Prakriti, when they come into being invisible by way of something like a remote control, the equilibrium of the particles is disturbed, and that disturbance is nothing but the visible world. Similarly, when after the fire, the watery element is coming into existence, and from there it solidifies and becomes Earth, becomes Mars, becomes some other Milky Way, and like that, the entire visible, the palpable, the touchable, the matter which is amenable to taste and smell, all these things have come into being and available to us through our eyes, through our ears, through our nose, through our skin. It all has become possible in that way. That is what the Saankhya says. These seers were so selfless that they have not mentioned even their name also, that how this has come. They were not selfish. They have made it. They have presented it for the benefit of the people who will never fight in the name of religion. Such secular version, the secular philosophy is Saankhya. Then, how do we operate? We means animals. We all animals operate either with our hands, with our legs, through our voice, and also because of our excretory organs, reproductive organs. That's how the animal world is operating. So the 5 Akash, Vayu and all, the gas, ether, gas, file like that. Then our ears, nose like that 5. Then our hands, our legs, our excretory organs, and our speech, like that 5. So Purush, Prakriti, that's a total 22. Then these all things are being controlled by a factor called mind. Mind is a unique feature of soul. The life delegated to an animal is mind. It is empowered to use these resources in a way he wants or he is destined to. Both way. We'll come to that point. So like the total, there are 25 elements that make this universe. Of that, 2 are invisible, the atoms and the life. Other things are visible in some way or other. They are palpable in some way or the other. You can touch it, you can feel it, you can experience it in some way or the other, but these 2 are not visible. So Sankhya further says, very interesting, that Sankhya is the philosophy that explains evolution. It says that life will come into existence in n number of ways. Today we are in this form. On Mars, somebody may be in some other Milky Way, somebody will be in some other shape. They might be walking head down and like that, something like that. We cannot say. But they say that whatever that is happening in this world, in this universe, nothing is new. Everything has been pre-thought, prakriti, predestined, pre-thought, pre-manufactured. Everything has been done before you. So don't be fascinated. Everything is going to happen and it is going to change the shapes and everything in the years to come. That is the nature. That is the nature. Don't meddle with that. Simply try to know who you are. So there comes the question of body. Who we are. In my body, I am Himanshuray Raval. In your body, you are X, you are Y, you are Z, you are son. Sankhya recognizes, Sankhya respects individual soul, individual operator, individual life, individual God in every body, every physical body. Sankhya respects it. That's how we come to life and death and all. I'm taking that line, I'm connecting Ayurved from there. So it says, Sankhya says that there are 6 types of bodies possible in this universe. With respect to our planet, we can say that aliens are the first type of bodies. Second type of bodies are humans and the ones who walk on the earth. Third is the birds and the animals and the animals which walk horizontally. Something say the birds, they fly like this. Then the fishes, they swim across the water. They can't stand and walk. That is another category. There is another category of immobile physical beings. That is trees of different types. Horticulture, this culture, that culture, agriculture, whatever. So that is vegetation, vegetables, gardens and all. And they are immobile ones. They are also physical bodies. Then come two more important bodies which we should take interest in. That is Sankalpik body. Sankhya says Sankalpik means the conceptual body. In Bible or in other religious books, we find that Lord sends messengers even without mothers or without father. Adam was a concept of God, and there was Adam. Lord, what do you call Karna, an important character in Mahabharata. He was born without father. There are so many things like that, but that is called as conceptual body that God creates, or we are yet to understand how it happens. And another category is Sankhya. That means constitutional body. constitutional bodies, we can say that we are very close to it when the baby pods are created, when the babies are born in vitro conditions, laboratories and all. Mahabharata says that 100 pots were made to give birth to 100 characters of Kaurav. These are the Sansiddhic bodies. So these are the 6 type of bodies. Now, who takes which body? Who decides that I will take this body? It is explained that when the equilibrium of particles was first disturbed by way of the remote contact of the supreme life intelligence, at that time when it was disturbed, the universe was activated, put to activity, and that activity led to so many bodies, and people entered into, and the souls entered into those bodies, maybe at random. But when they started taking actions, the actions, as Bhagavad Gita says, are binding. Every action has a reaction, and that process has started and is going on and will go on for lakhs of years, for crores of years, for thousands of years, for millions of years, for billions of years. It has been going perhaps like that. We do not know. We know only small history of humankind. We do not know beyond that. Science is trying to do so many things, but ultimately man-made things can't reach. We have to accept certain things. We cannot prove everything in the laboratory. So like that, it is, we are coming to the karma. Everybody, the entire world knows about karma, the deeds, the impact of deeds. You have to take that responsibility on you. Unless the deeds are put at the feet, or lotus feet of Lord Krishna, or Lord Jesus, or Muhammad, or God, or Saraswati, or Lakshmi, or Mary, unless we dedicate it fully, unless we surrender our success, our failures to our God, unless we do it, it is on our shoulders, and we are traveling with that. We are traveling with that in our mind. Our mind is conditioned. Our intelligence is tailored. Our approach is accordingly made, and our acts are accordingly vitiated or pious, whatever way. Our personality is built up like that. Our means human body, maybe in deers also, maybe in dogs also, maybe in all species, this will apply more or less same. Good deeds, bad deeds, neutral ones. As I said, 3 types of particles. Unless we neutralize it by surrendering it, every action is sitting on our head, our shoulder. It is becoming a burden. Like that, the person gets born to complete or to correct the actions taken in this birth. A human body will survive at the most, say, 200 years. But his deeds are so done that the result is yet to come. Who will face it? The body is going to collapse. He will have to face it by taking some other body. Which body he will take? That's the question. So they say that either of the 6 type of bodies will accommodate the newcomer. Ayurved says that a person is born according to his incomplete desires. He selects a body from the entire universe. Maybe he will go to some other Milky Way to find parents. Now, parents, Ayurveda explains it very logically that the newcomer is a third party. It is independent of the parents. How it explains? Every doctor knows it, I know. But then the angle of Ayurveda, angle of Lord Charak, the greatest doctor in India, is worth hearing. It is very interesting. It is very poetically presented. Charak says that there can be a motion, a movement only in 2 ways. One is straight way, linear, in one go. Another, as the crow flies, straight line. Another is straight line, but like a frog hops. from here to there, there to there, there to there. Incomplete ones, but same direction. When a male and a female of any species, they mate, they, if the leader, if the crow flies, like if that is the motion, if that is the style of passing on the energy, then either the father should die or the mother should die. But this doesn't happen. If it doesn't happen, then the second type of motion is possible, that some limb of the father should get paralyzed, or some limb of the mother should get stiff, or she should lose motions in that particular part. But no, both are found to be happy. That means the person coming in the womb is entirely a new entity. It is the mother and the father are only incident. The person coming is independent. And that's how the person comes here, so that universal arrangement is there. Some scheme is there where he is transported to complete the incomplete things in the past birth where he left his body. That's how a person is born, and he starts functioning accordingly, according to his physical body. A human child may not be in a position to walk from the one day and take revenge from the enemies of the old birth. But a crow will fly on the same day. The calf of a cow will immediately recognize the mother from a herd. Every different species have different physical bodies, physical specialities. And that also speaks of punarjanma, that's rebirth. I must have been reborn somewhere. I must have been born somewhere as a calf. So when I'm again born as a calf, I know how to suck milk, how to identify mother, my cow mother. This, all shepherds, particularly in India, they know it, that the one day born calf of a cow is able to identify the mother from the 1,000 cows standing in a herd. Everybody knows it. So this is how we select the mother and the father, and we are born, and our action continues in different type of bodies. Now this cosmic dance continues. Yeah. Now karma deeds are also known as prarabdha. Prarabdha word is drawn from the toughest rope used to bind the mighty elements. Big elephants are bound by that rope, so they cannot tie. It is the message in this, that your karma, your deeds are so strong as such a rope. You can't escape it. You have to pay for what you did. You have to benefit from what you did. Now, coming towards, slowly I'm proceeding towards the death. How do we approach our death? Coming straight to the point, that suppose I did some very bad things in my past birth, maybe as an elephant or something like that, which is left out, which is yet to be, I have to repay for it. Then it is because very old, very heavy burden on my shoulder. Maybe at some age, some point of my life, I will acquire some deadly disease, cancers, TB, HIV, something like that, which is difficult to cure, and which will give me pain for years. For repentance, I'll be repaying my debt in terms of pain. There is another category of karma that is called as kriyaman karma. This is instant. Suppose I slapped this person yesterday, he comes and kicks me today. The matter is over. It's short term. But suppose I give pain, suppose I kick some animals and escape, suppose I steal money from the treasury of the government and keep silence, then I will have to. My deeds, my mind knows, through my mind, my soul knows, which travels to another body, and it has to repay in these terms. I think the concept is clear. Now, Bhagwan Buddha, he says that don't bother about the repentance and all, because the deeds will get nullified in its natural course. You simply don't do anything, simply wait, simply take all pains and it will go. Just like the body dries up after the bath, even if you don't use towel, it has to dry. So something like that, your bad deeds will also fade out and you will achieve the highest, what you call, knowledge and nirvana, they call it, salvation. But everybody is not eligible to do it. Everybody is not prepared to do it. So we will come back to the point of death. When salvation is not for everybody. So suffering is for everybody, for most. So suffering, the biggest suffering comes in form of death. Death may be accidental or natural. Now we'll not talk about accidental. Everybody knows what happens in a fraction of a second, a person dies. But in case of natural death, it takes about 7 to 8 hours. We see in the old people, we see in the case of feeble patients and all, that a person dies in a very, very gradually, he dies. Dies because I'll take 2 minutes on the Pancha Prana. When the air is outside our body, it is air. But the moment we are able to draw it inside, it becomes the energy. It becomes prana. In India, we call it prana. Prana is God, which operates in 5 different ways. The God, the gas God, the air God that I have inhaled is working from this point to my heart. It draws inside. It enables me to take some things inside. Water, food, and air. From here to the navel point and below, it is apan. Its duty is to that God throws out the unnecessary things. Then comes the God Udan, which enables me to stand up, keep my head up, and make me strong enough to stand and walk and build a good body. Then comes Saman. Saman is a God which teaches me how to keep my body in balance, how not to fall down. And Vyan, the final God, Vyan, is the God which works throughout my etherical or my vacuum or my channels or my tunnels in my body and communicates everything to here, east to west and north to south, like that. All communication system is covered under, it is something like police commissioner. It controls traffic also, it controls people also, everything like that. So administrator, yeah. Now Ayurveda says when the natural death approaches, first the prudent person will know that his death is nearing now, based on when he will start losing his balance very often for some unknown reasons. You see that when the person is dying, his legs, they first feel weak. They are not able to take weight. He's not able to walk properly. Maybe young or maybe old. But when the death approaches naturally, person is not able to walk properly. He has to take some support. So from feet to knees, it is saman. It leaves the control of the saman body, starts saying goodbye. Second stage, from knee to navel point. That means excretory systems. They go haywire. Either the constipation or too much of stool, or either too much of urine or no urine, too much of menstruation or no menstruation, something related to those systems, renal systems and gastro systems and like that. So that part fails in the second stage. Third, from navel to heart, the most important parts, the kidney, stomach, the heart, the lungs, and all this most important part, these organs fail, and the body temperature rises. And this is the stage when the most uncomfortable feelings are in the mind of the person who is dying. It is beyond words. Even the greatest poets cannot narrate this. Ayurveda itself is not in a position to put everything in the word. That pain is beyond word. They say it is simply havoc. There is a turmoil, there is a hurricane in the body, and the person is simply not able to tolerate it. See, we have some small dysentery, and how uncomfortable we feel in a running bus. It is something that all organs have failed inside the body, vital organs are failing, how he must be feeling. The fourth stage is from heart to throat. He loses the control of his body, his breathing, it becomes erratic. He is not in a position to say anything in sound also. And the last is Vyan. The administrator gives up, and all systems fail. This is how a person dies. Now, Ayurveda says that these five, this Pran, Apan, Udan, Saman, and Vyan, they each have a particular sub-gaseous subsystem. I'm not in a position to find appropriate words in English, but I'm trying to explain this in a very narrative way. The last one is called Dhananjay Vayu, Dhananjay gas. It is this system that takes charge of disintegrating the body, decomposing the body, and destroying the body. Now we are coming to TarpaN, we are very close to that. It is the Hindu way of explaining death. Now the death has already taken place. What is death? Ayurveda says in Viman, there is a chapter, Viman Sthan. It says that death is disconnection of soul with the mind and the body systems. Now we have to understand, the body systems fail. When they fail, who remembers? The mind remembers. And when the mind fails, who remembers? The Atma remembers, the soul remembers, the spirit remembers. And who goes is the spirit. Spirit goes out. Now it says that when it goes out, still the soul has gone, not the entire living system. Our human body or any body is full of microbes, is full of microorganisms. What happens to them? The master has gone. The palace is full of servants and who are dancing and who are looting and who are playing havoc in the campus, and they are breaking glasses and everything. The blood starts oozing out, the body swells. It becomes food for the others, for animals, for insects and all. If the dead body was really dead as a aluminium sheet or as a sheet of iron, no animals would have consumed us after death. No, our body is a still living organism, which is a food for others. They like to eat. The vultures will immediately fall, designed on us. So Ayurveda says that the body, the last atom of body, till it is destroyed, it is possible to communicate with the owner of that body, the soul, if it is hovering around, if it is not satisfied. If I die with a lot of strong, I would say strong, strong incomplete desires, my body will, I will not go away from my body. I will be with my body. That's why in Hindu, we cremate the body. And whatever ashes remain, we put that ash in the flowing water of a river. So nothing substantial is available for communicating with the soul. In Hindu, what we do, that when I know that my death is approaching, I will start a procedure of thanking people and saying sorry to the people. Even I know that in churches, you have a confession box. It is a wonderful tool. What we are doing is nothing but same thing. We call a priest and he asks whether I would like to, whether I have done anything wrong. And I tell him secretly, and he tells me that, okay, you perform this sacrifice, yagna, you donate something here, you give some cows to some poor people, give some clothes to the poor people, and like that, and my mind becomes free of that guilt. If I am dying with a guilt, if I am dying with a sense of revenge, then it is possible, it is very possible that my soul will not get liberated, will not get transferred, will not be prepared to find another body which is suitable for me to complete it. Because I know that I need to complete it in the circle only. How? What to do? Because in India there is one tantra. We call it tantra. Tantra is a very popular word. And in Ayurved, in Atharva Ved, we say it Atharva Sutra. Please listen to me. If you can note it down, Atharva Sutra, there is a good word. You can do some research on it. Atharva Sutra is nothing but my atomic existence in this world. I know some people, you take my pen and give it to the person. After 10 minutes, he will narrate me that this person is having a beard, is having this kind of mental treatment traits. He must be of something like this age. He must be looking something like this. Simply based on my pen, he will narrate me. There are people. There is a technique of tracing people based on his the things used by him. That's a different subject. But what I want to say, that our atoms exist even after our death for a certain period. See, the dog can trace me for up to 3 to 4 months in a very heavy crowd also. Suppose I have a pet and I put it in America and I go out to America after 4 months, it will again identify me based on my smell. Everybody knows it. It is because of Atharva Sutra that I live, my hands, my atoms, my hair, my smell, my body's odor. The dogs are in a position to receive it. Human minds do not give any importance to all these things, but nature has provision for everything. Okay. So we are coming to the last part of it, that what is to be done after the death to liberate the soul. We have procedure for all 13 days. We believe that up to 13 days, if we do something good, something in line with the desire of the living soul, we give him the food of his choice, we do things of his liking, then it is possible that he will be satisfied, he'll be prepared to live to the next birth. But still, our forefathers have left a tradition of doing 16 Shraddha, we call it. That is the last rites. Every lunar date, 16 months. And we simply remember him in Sanskrit language. There are, Ayurved has a lot of prayers for on these occasions. And we thank the departed souls with a view to satisfying him that there was no fault on his part, and we will do whatever that is good for his next birth. We will do some donations. We'll do things of his liking. In a nutshell, that is the way we thank the. That's the way we say goodbye to the dying people or dead people. Now, now comes the TarpaN. TarpaN is part of last rites. It is said that a prudent person will say sorry on every occasion and will thank every soul around him for his progress. He will not own anything that I have done it. No, I did it because some forces helped me. In particular, who is interested in me? My body is made of my ancestors, my forefathers this side and my forefathers on the side of my mother. Both sides are important for me. In India, we give more importance to the mother than the father because we are born of mother. We are directly connected with the womb of the mother. That's why we respect mother more. Now, we are product of those genes. We have the genes of those forefathers. So we should be indebted. Our nature, our behavior, our likings, our dislikings, we are in large way governed by this body, the donors of this body. No doubt, I have come from some place to fulfill my desires, but the body that has been chosen by me is a reality of genes of my forefathers from both sides, mother and father, and their impact is certainly going to be on me. So I should be thankful to them. I should take permission from them to allow me to perform better in such a way that my incomplete desires, my incorrect actions are all corrected this time, and I'm in a position to live a very meaningful and purposeful life this time. What I should do? One thing, that if I don't have hands, I cannot perform TarpaN. But certainly I can sit like this and I can pray. I can thank my forefathers. Who is doing it? Nobody is doing it. That's what TarpaN. TarpaN is a very systematic way. I take one bowl, some sugar in that, 1 grain of sugar, some 1 drop of milk if possible, otherwise simple potable water. With both hands, I will lift the water, and as if I am putting in the mouth of my dead father, my dead grandfather, both sides, my grandma, my dead friends, the friends whom I lost on my during my service, during my military service, the patients who died despite my best efforts, everybody who came into my contact, but somehow he died, somehow she died. I thank them. I say them sorry. This is a pet animals. Suppose you are driving on a road and you see a dead animal. Why did you see that animal at all? If it was not part of your life, if it was not destined to be seen by you, you would not have seen that. Maybe the person sitting next to you did not see, but you saw it. There is some subtle connection between you and that dead animal. It is better to settle it off by way of giving some water to it. That is TarpaN. And TarpaN is very easy to do. Why I have taken your 40 minutes? Just to share a fact that at least 10 to 15,000 people are feeling satisfied, are leading very good life, are leading very healthy life simply by doing TarpaN. I am not in favor of any puja part, any meditation, any formal puja part, any formal going to this place pilgrimage and all this. No. Everything is in your hands. I am following Saankhya. The God is there, fine. If it's not there, what you will do? If the God is there, fine. Take his help. But suppose the God is not helping you, will you stop? No. I will play God myself. I will start forgiving people. I will start donating people. something like that. Some water I will donate. I'll give life to them. I'll thank them. I'll say sorry to them. I'll communicate with them. Communication is more important. Last point. During my experience of about 40 years, kindly listen to me. Maybe I know that I am going to sound illogical. I don't have any proof also. I need not give also. I'm simply sharing my experience with a view to giving you benefit of this technique, which somehow I learned from somebody and I have benefited. It is possible to reach the dead in a very fearless manner. Mostly when we talk of the dead people, we think in terms of their being as ghosts. No. Ghosts may be there, but the deadliest ghosts are tamed, are convinced by way of TarpaN. I had 2 threats of being killed on a particular date. On that date, I have survived. I met with an accident. I was given that date 1 year before that accident. I had forgotten that date, but during as I wrote diary during those days, I could match it. The deadliest people, the worst ghosts, if they are not in in conformity with your views, they may try to kill you also. But no, if you are doing TarpaN with a very open mind, with a genuine intention to give benefit to that, to enable him to get liberated, it is not in a position to harm you. Rather, it will give you some benefits. Of course, as I said, we should not take benefits. We should not take injuries on our head and carry it along with. No, everything is to be put at the feet of God. Everything is to be left there. Nothing rights us. But I'm sharing this experience with you that dead also communicate with us. Dead receive our feelings. Dead acknowledge our deeds, our thanks, and they in turn get liberated. When they are liberated, they will not come to your memory also. That is exactly where I want to stop. And I thank Madam S.E., Madam Aarti, and all of you who heard me for about 40 minutes like this on a very illogical subject. But my intention is not to prove anything because I cannot prove it. But at the same time, my intention is to give benefit of this experience that I have seen in my life. I wish that you do it, you try it. There is no cost in it. There is no exorcism in it. There is no danger in it. Please try it. And I hope that the troubles that look very big in your life will get melted away, maybe in a very short period. Sometimes it takes longer time, but the dead do not want riches, your diamonds and your ornaments and your bungalows and your lobbies and your steamers and your aeroplanes. They don't want it. They simply want a one word, I love you. That's all. Thank you very much. Thank you.